it's Lisa with Tinker Creek Designs. I am just coming to you this morning to share a morning project with you guys. I hope that you have a great day. It's about 5:45 here. I'm starting my day with a little bit of painting. The project I have here in front of me is a thrift store find. I like to do upcycling, just see what I can do with something that I purchased at either our local hospice store or a yard sale or Salvation Army. This particular project is just a frame. It's a picture frame. It's plastic, but it looks metal. It looks like metal. It has a nice glass surface, and it was just 3 framed postcards. But I am painting over the glass because I like to do that, and I like to just transform the frame. I did not tape off my edges. Certainly you could do that, but I just like to see where it goes, and then I'll go back and clean my edges. But all I did was wash the frame, make sure the glass was nice and clean, and then I have added this gloss varnish. It's Master's Touch. I just poured a little bit on my frame, and I'll add a little bit more. It's just a gloss varnish, so I'm adding that, and I've mixed it with some Anita's all-purpose craft paint, but this is metallic, and it is called Topaz, but it's this really nice turquoise color, so I like that. And then I've added to that some Master's Touch permanent black acrylic paint. I love the Master's Touch paints, and I've just added them directly on the glass, and I am trying to get a nice smooth surface here. I just want to cover what was under the glass, and I'm trying to get a nice surface on which I can paint. And there's something meditative, I guess, about painting on glass. That surface is so smooth, and as you're painting, it feels good to the touch. It's different than painting on canvas. I have no idea if this is the appropriate or proper way to do this, but I have done several paintings on glass, and this way works for me. I hope that this project might inspire you to go out to your local thrift stores and see if you can find a cool frame, because instead of buying canvas, this is another way that you can do a cool project. I paid, I think, $3.99 for this frame. I like it because, you know, it already has the backing on there. There's my pink $3.99 sticker. There's where it was originally hung, but I don't have to put it this way. I can hang it this other way. However I decide to do it. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I don't plan things out ahead of time. I like the mystery of paint, and I like to see what will happen with it and where it will go. So I just like to get started. I am trying to make sure the inside edge of this is also nicely covered, and I do think this kind of seals the edge of the glass and the frame. That way nothing seeps through, and it's just one nice finished surface in the end. So I'm really just making sure I get this on nice and evenly. I don't want those pictures in the background that were originally in this frame to shine through. I don't want folks to recognize that necessarily that this is just a framed pictures that I am painting over. I'm just wanting to get a new fresh surface. So I'm using those paints with the gloss varnish. After everything is finished, I will let this dry completely. I usually let it dry for at least 24 hours, but usually if I can let it sit and dry for a week, it just really becomes nice and cured, and it's permanent then, and then I can come back with my finished painting, and I will be able to put a nice coat of either the gloss varnish as a top coat. But what I really like to do with the picture frames like this is mix a little resin and pour a resin top coat over my dried painting. Then the paint does not, I found that the paint does not chip or peel, and then when that resin dries, it is a very sturdy surface. So I am really liking this. I will go back and, like I said, I'll clean up my edges. I don't prep them ahead of time because I don't have the patience And I usually don't have the time in the mornings, but I'm just cleaning up the edges. I want that paint to be on the inside lip of my project. I just don't want it to be on the outside. So I'll make sure I don't leave paint here, and any little splotches that are sticking up, I will be able to clean that up. I use acrylic paints because I'm kind of a messy painter. I'm actually painting on a piece of poster board. I've got this whole project sitting on a piece of poster board that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and I do that because I'm messy and I don't want to mess up my table. I don't want to get paint. I've been painting in my dining room right now. I do not want to get paint on my dining room table, so I'm trying to keep this nice and neat. But as you can see, I am starting to get a really nice surface, and it is going to be lovely to paint on. And I love to sometimes use a dark background. It's sort of like if you go and buy a black canvas already done, it can really make colors pop, and that's what I wanted to do here, is allow some colors that I'm about to use to pop. I'm going to turn my picture around this way because I do actually want to do my design in a more vertical pattern. So now I'm just going back with this foam brush, and I am making sure I don't have any gaps or openings. The nice thing about this too is it will, I'm just going to sit this over here, it will kind of level itself out too, and a lot of that, any of those lines will start to just kind of shrink down as I work on this project. So I picked up a couple of more foam brushes, plastic paper plate, styrofoam plate. These are things I typically use to paint with. Now I wanted to pull in my other colors just to have another pop of color. This is Artist Loft acrylic paint in a deep yellow, and this one is the Master's Touch acrylic paint, and it's called Lake Blue. So I tend to use blues and purples a lot in my paintings, and so I'm just gonna put a little bit of that pretty blue on my plate. I don't usually use an artist palette. I use these paper plates, and I will reuse them actually a couple of times, but this way I don't waste, and then the plate can go, oops, in the recycle, and then that works out just fine. I love these colors already, and on the black, they're going to really pop, which I think is exceptionally cool. So then I also have a little bit of green. It's very dark. This is phthalo green, so I'm going to put just a little bit of it here. Now, I've got my three colors that I primarily want to use, and I'm just going to put a very little bit of this metallic. I'm just going to pour it right with my other blue. I don't have a lot left, but I'm going to mix those two together. I like this one because it's metallic. I'm using, like I said, the gloss varnish, so that's going to be a shiny finish. I've got metallic paint that I'm mixing in and some bright colors. So it's going to pop. There's no way around it, but that's great. I also am going to use just a little bit of this Flow Medium. I already have a nice wet surface that I'm going to be painting on, so that's great anyway, but I'm going to add just a little bit of that Flow Medium to my colors because I want it to spread very well on this painting. So I'm starting with my darkest color, which is that green, and mixing that with the Flow Medium, picking up a little bit of the blue, mixing that together, and I'm not picking up the yellow yet, but I want to get started here on my painting. And you can see that that color is really popping on this paint, on this wet black paint with the varnish, and I love it. So of course, I'm just freehanding my project. I want this to just be colorful and bright. This is how I'm starting my day. I'm doing one of my favorite things, and that's just to do a tree. I get really excited over trees. I don't know what that attraction is. I do follow the Shabby Tree, and I know that Barb on the Shabby Tree loves trees. I think we have that in common. but I love to paint trees, and I just love the colors. There's something about trees that just, I like to look at them in nature, and I love to paint them, and I like to think about them. It's something about just how strong they can be, and thinking about the roots, how they're always reaching up, looks like to heaven, to the sky, to the sun. I love it, and I love the colors. So now you can see, I think you can see, that I have really got these colors going on that black canvas. The black is starting to pop. I want to add in some of the yellow. I like to watch the older Bob Ross videos, and he talks about the happy little trees. He says trees can live anywhere in your world. In my world, trees are colorful. Trees have glitter. Trees have interesting shapes. I don't always have leaves on my tree, and I certainly do not use conventional colors, but I'm not a conventional person. So I'm mixing in a little bit of that yellow. It is really going to pop too. I want to see texture, and so I am putting more paint on the end of my brush than most would think. I like to use the tip of that brush, and I'm really holding my brush up. And when I get toward the top, I like to kind of wiggle the brush a little bit back and forth, and that just helps me get texture into the work. And I think I'm really excited how this is turning out. I'm going to put a little more of the yellow because I want more of that at the top of this painting. I'm filling in areas just to get my branches going, and there was a little spot that just dropped off. Don't let that bother you. If paint drops or drips, I think it's landing there that for a reason. That's part of the mystery. Just have fun with it. What's it gonna hurt? It's not gonna hurt anything. This was a painting. Originally, this was just a frame. It would have been discarded. Someone thankfully donated it to our local Salvation Army. I was able to pick this up, and I like to do the Upcycle project. So I am adding in my leaves, and then I'm coming back to the trunk of my tree and just finishing up. I want to see the texture there. I'm getting a little more now. I'm gonna pick up the green because I want that to shine in here too. Go down these edges, and now I have found if you take the brush, mix in your colors now, if you go back and kind of do a little dabbing motion with the brush, it really does add cool texture. It ends up looking a little like the tree bark, which is cool. And then I've got these branches coming off of my tree in all these colors. I think I need a little bit more of the yellow, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of the yellow to my palette. I want to now just go back in and finish this up. This is a very quick painting. I've been talking to you guys for about 13 minutes, but I have almost completed my project. I'm adding another branch here just to see how that tree might grow that way, and I want to get this cool, I would really like to get this cool texture look in there so that I do feel as if the branches are growing out. I love to see how these colors are mixing together. That green didn't pop as much, so I'm adding a little more yellow there. And then I think I have room, and it would look cool to put one more branch maybe right here with a smaller branch coming off to the side. It's just wherever you want to paint it. Y'all, I am really happy with how this is turning out. It is a pretty tree, I think, on a recycled frame from the store. I have really $4 in this whole project, plus using up some of the paints that I have. It's not expensive, it's not time consuming, but it is a great way to start my day. I'm going to clean up the edges. I'm going to just see if I want to add a couple of more branches, make sure I've got the shape like I like it, and then I'm going to set this to the side. I'm going to let it dry and make sure it dries solid, because I don't want the paint to peel. I don't want anyone to see that there were pictures under this. I'll let it dry for several days, and we'll clean up the edges. After it's nice and dry, I will come back and put that finishing top coat on it. If you like to watch if you like this video, maybe you'll like others. I'm here to just inspire you to play with some paintings and some color. Add some color, some glitter, some bling to your world. Start your day with some paint, some color. It is fun, people. I am loving this. I hope that you will subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tinker Creek Designs. Find me on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook at Tinker Creek Designs. Certainly can send me a Facebook message. I would love to hear from you. If you like my videos, just let me know. If you don't like my videos, you don't have to let me know. Just don't watch them. I hope you have a great day. Take care, and then follow me, and you'll see how this finished project turns out, because I will post that video. All right, have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.